welcome to another Mac the Hobbyist video. Today I would like to talk to you about the richest man in Babylon. To give a little backstory, this book was published in 1926, but it takes place in ancient Babylon. At its time, it was revolutionary for how we approach personal finance and building wealth for the average person. So, to give a little background, Arkad is a poor scribe who works extremely hard but explains to his friends how poor he is no matter how hard he works. He meets this man named Algamish, who is known for being wealthy. In exchange for some overtime in scribing, Algamish teaches Arkad the basic advice of building wealth. Later in life, after Arkad is known as the richest man in Babylon, he teaches the 7 cures for a lean purse to an intrigued classroom. In this video, I'll talk about these cures and how you can implement them in your life. Arkad talks about the 7 cures for a lean purse. The first cure being, start thy purse to fattening. This cure is stating to pay yourself first. Save or invest at least 10% of your income to start fattening your purse or build wealth. I think this holds up even today, and I would advise increasing this to as much as possible. A good rule to follow is the 50-30-20 rule. This means that 50% of your income goes towards your needs, 30% goes towards your wants, and 20% goes towards your investings and savings accounts. I would recommend setting up an automated transfer system so that any time that you get paid, you don't actually see or spend the money that you use to pay yourself. The second cure is to control thy expenditures. This is basically saying, don't live above your means. Make sure you know the difference between your needs and your wants. Your needs being housing, groceries, and maybe a few other necessary things. We as humans will always want to have more, and more. But sometimes you spend money on things that you don't need, like DoorDash, subscriptions you don't use or watch, and many more. Make sure you know the amount of money that you can spend on things before the things you need, before you spend money on the things that you don't. I could talk about this forever, but you want to find the balance between being too frugal and too consumerist. Remember that every dollar that you save now will be worth around $45 in 40 years. The third cure is to make thy gold multiply. Use your money to invest and compound over time. The earlier you invest, the more your money can compound. If you want to learn more about this, feel free to click on this video about how and why you should open a Roth IRA. This is why the rich get richer. Assuming a 10% APY, if they invested $1 million instead of $1,000, they would make $100,000 rather than $100 in just 1 year. The fourth cure is to guard thy treasures from loss. Stay away from get-rich-quick schemes. Make sure you do your research thoroughly before you invest your treasure. To the best of your ability, try to keep your emotions out of financial decisions. Make sure you're very thorough with your research and don't be easily persuaded. The fifth cure is to make thy dwelling a profitable investment. He states that you should buy instead of rent where you live. Obviously, this was written a century ago, so housing was a lot more affordable then, but he states in the book that anything is possible for a focused mind, and I believe this even now. You just have to be smarter about it. Another thing he advises to do is to use your residence to establish a business. I think this can be interpreted a few different ways. One of them is to make a product inside of your house and sell it, or it could be to use your residence to rent it out for others that need it. And another could be to buy your house and sell it for a profit in the future. The sixth cure is to ensure a future income. You want to create an income that you can live off of when you're no longer able or wanting to work. Have a retirement income. A classic rule of thumb here is the 4% rule. This states that you take whatever amount of money you retire with and take out 4% of that number each year of your retirement. For example, if you retired with $1 million, the 4% rule would let you live off of about $40,000 per year for 20 to 25 years. This is obviously very simple. It does not take into account future inflation and interest, so I will leave an article in the description. The seventh rule is to increase thy ability to earn. This is cliche, but this rule tells you to invest in yourself. You need to develop your own skills to increase your investing knowledge. That's one way. This could be learning more about personal finance, stocks, interest rates, etc. Or this could be to increase your earnings power. This could be taking courses or getting a degree to certification to earn a higher paying job. All right, this has been the 7 Cures for a Lean Purse, as stated in The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and let me know if you have any questions in the comments, but thanks for coming and see ya.